Alrighty, you look at it's sold out at Life Stadium where today the 16-0 and playoff bound New York Giants are taking on the 0-16 Philadelphia Eagles. And why are the Philadelphia Eagles 0-16? Because they suck. They lost the Super Bowl because they suck. Philadelphia sucks, and the Philadelphia Eagles suck even more. Philadelphia sucks. Rolls right off the tongue there. They suck. Welcome to the Gridiron. Up there. Here goes my dog, Randy. Usually as soon as I start talking to you. That's when he wants to get. I can move this chair here. There you go. All right, he's here. We're good. All right, I'm here. Randy's here. You're here. All right. Anybody out there that's going to spend any time with me all here this evening, thank you so much. If anybody's going to spend any time watching a replay of this, thank you so much on the bottom of my heart. Greatly appreciate it. I'm going to try to go about 30 minutes here tonight, shoot my mouth off for about 30 minutes. Anybody got anything to say, please feel free, fire away, throw it in the chat box. I usually try to check on the chat box like every 5 or 10 minutes or so. As soon as I see something in there, I try to respond to it as fast as I can. Plus, instead of me just like rambling on for half an hour or longer, it's nice just to talk to another Giant fan. So please feel free by throwing the chat box. Before we get started, if anybody wants to help support my channel out, it would mean the absolute world to me. In the description box below is the top link in the description box. Takes you to my membership page. I got 3 different membership levels. The first one's called the Saquon. Second membership level is called the Lawrence Taylor. And the third membership level is called the Gridiron. Each one's got their own little perks to them. So if you want to help support my channel out, I would thank you so much in advance, and it would mean the world to me. Thank you. If you are subscribed to my channel, once again, thank you. I can use all the support I can get. But if you're not, please go down below, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon. That way next time I go live or put a video out, you'll be notified. And it's free of charge. What do you got to lose, right? But if you are subscribed to my channel, once again, thank you. And then finally, in the description box below, there's 2 Facebook links. The top one takes you to my Facebook group. It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. It's a group. But I say this in every video. My YouTube channel, my Facebook group, Facebook page, which I'll talk about in a minute. It's all called the same thing. It's New York Giants, the Gridiron. That way a moron like me, I can remember. It's not like, what's my channel called? What's a YouTube group? It's all called the same thing. I just dumb it down for myself. In the group, what do we got? We have reached 3,700 members. Doing pretty good. Usually what happens is once I get done going live, I'll spend like the next couple hours like putting stuff in the group and the page, which I'm going to go over in a minute. And I said, whether it's like a video, sharing an article, something showing some stats on a player, a post, a picture, something making fun of the Eagles or the Cowboys, which are my personal favorites. There's a ton of stuff I get in here. I try to get like up to about 10 different things in here every day. But if you become a member, not only do I post stuff in here, but the members post stuff in here as well too. So every day there's a ton of stuff going into this group here every day. The second Facebook link takes you to my Facebook page. I'm the administrator in the group, so I'm the only one that posts in there. But the page is called, the New York Giants, the Gridiron. And what are we up to in this? And this one really does very well. We're over 1,700 likes, but we have over 5,800 people following it. Really does well. And it's the same thing. Once I get done, going live here, as I said, I want to put a bunch of stuff in the group and in the page. I said pretty much 7 days a week. So there's a ton of stuff going in here every day. And I don't commingle them. So basically, for the most part, the stuff that I put in the page and I'll put in the group, stuff I put in the group and I'll put in the page. So every now and then, as I said, I live and breathe just to make fun of the Philadelphia Eagles. That's what I put on. That's my purpose in life. I discovered that a couple of years ago. So if there's something making fun of the Philadelphia Eagles, I just want to share it with everybody. So I might put that in the page and in the group. But other than that, I just try to keep the stuff separate. That way, if you go to both of them, the page and the group, there's just different stuff in there. And I say all the time, it's like, if you go to the page and you like it and you follow it, and you go to the group and you become a member, every day you get a ton of New York Giants information. And I say this all the time too. Right? If you go to the page and you like it and you follow it and you go to the group and become a member, if you're not 100% satisfied, you get your money back guaranteed. All right, with all that stuff said and done and out of the way with, well, at the OTAs and minicamp and all, when the holding pattern there, we're taxiing on the runway. So we got like about 6 weeks where our airplanes are just taxiing on the runway. So we just got to try to find things to talk about other than like the Saquon Barkley saga. So I'm going to try to stay away from that as much as I can. So just trying to find things to talk about. But I did, once again, PFF, and ain't no love for it's what I kind of found it funny. Emmitt Smith, when he was talking about it was probably back in the 90s. It had to be in the 90s, obviously. That's when Emerson, the play was with the Cowboys, was in the 90s. And he got done playing a game, I guess, against the Eagles. I guess it was. And he said that's why they call it the city of brotherly love. Yeah. He was talking to a reporter. I don't know what question I asked. He said, because the Philadelphia, they call it the city of brotherly love. I'm not really sure who was smoking the crack pipe when they came up with that one, because nothing's further from the truth. City of brotherly love, if you like the Eagles. If you don't like the Eagles, it's, I don't know where, as I said, I'm not sure where they came up with that slogan at, but Emmitt Smith had a real good one. He said, that's why I call this the city of brotherly love. He said, they ain't got no love for no brothers. And that's what kind of, anytime I look at a PFF article, it says PFF and it says Giants in the same sentence, there's no love there. No love for the most part. And they have no love, rightfully so, for the Giants. And it's a very good, it's a really good article. I'll go over this here just in a second. Good points. And I'll tell you what is it, 11 of the top 12? I'll look at the article, but I think 11 of the top 12 all kind of got one thing in common. All right. So, and of course, the Giants, luckily, are number 25, right? Kind of rightfully so. Rightfully so. We're going to go over this here. But, 11 of the top 12 kind of all got something in common there. Right. So let's go. This little article, it's all some Giants wire. Okay. But I'm going to go over I'm going to go to the actual spot on PFF where they have it ranked and everything. But Giants Wire, nothing but a bunch of good articles. Yeah, that's why I love all these, because they give me something to talk about. It's great. I love them. These guys are freaking fantastic. So Giants Wire has PFF ranks the Giants wide receivers near the bottom of the NFL. Rightfully so. Rightfully so. But I mean, it's what they say about the Giants is just spot on. You can't argue with it. Spot on. All right. And it said in the article, it says, after the way the 2022 season played out, the New York Giants needed to upgrade their weapons around Daniel Jones this offseason. So General Manager Joe Schoen and the Giants front office did just that. Not just in free agency, but via trade and the draft as well. Absolutely. The free agent market was scarce at wide receiver, so Schoen got creative, making the biggest splash on a trade to acquire tight end Darren Waller. But, he's a tight end. It's not the wide receivers. But, I mean, it's right. I mean, if there wasn't much there, right? There wasn't much there. I mean, OBJ was there. D-Hop is out there, right? But, he did what he thought was probably best, and actually quite possibly maybe cheapest, and quite possibly maybe wound up being the best. Waller's a mismatch, a threat. You can say the thing about D-Hop and all, but Waller's cheaper. Waller's younger, I believe. Waller is just much of a mismatch, if not more than D-Hop. But I said that the Pro Football Focus has the Giants catchers near the bottom of the league at number 25. But this is what they say, and you can't argue with this. This is spot on. So, I got to give PFF some credit where credit's due. PFF says the New York Giants receiving room is deep. Yes, it is. It's deep in 2s and 3s. Yes, it is. No, ain't no arguing about that. They got the Giants at number 25, right? But the ceiling feels a little limited. Yeah, quite possibly, because all we can go by is the evidence we have in hand. We can't take Jalin Hyatt and say, well, he scored 5 touchdowns against Alabama. He's going to be the greatest wide receiver of all time. I mean, we're going to get 5 touchdowns. Look what he did against Alabama. You can't go by that. Bryce Ford Wheaton, he's got some size. He's got some strength. Once he stops dropping some passes here and he starts in his play, starts playing with the Giants, he's going to take the roof off it. Well, you can't go by that because he hasn't played in the NFL yet. Jalin Hyatt has played in the NFL yet. All we can kind of go by is the evidence that you have in hand. Now, do you want Jalin Hyatt to score 35 touchdown receptions this year? Yeah, sure. Do you want him to be the greatest wide receiver of all time? Yeah. Do I want to have 2,000 yards receiving? Yeah. Yeah. Come, bring it on. But, no. Right? You don't know. Plus, also, I really think it's going to be kind of tough because Saquon's playing. Whether he signs the franchise tag or they get a long-term deal done, I really think they'll get something done. They got a month. You can get a lot done in a month, right? Because what 10:44. So in 1 hour Eastern Standard Time. So in 1 hour and 16 minutes, they'll have 1 month to go. You can get a lot done in 1 month. A lot done. So but I also one of the things I think is that they're going to just sharing the love, right? Spreading it around. They got a lot of guys to throw. Either hand the ball off to whether it's Paris Campbell. Let's see what Eric Gray can do. Don't forget about Breida. We got Barkley. We got Hyatt. You got Hodgins, Slayton, Shep when he comes back, Wandale Robinson. You got Waller. You got Bellinger. We got a lot of guys to throw the ball to. Spreading it out. So I really would have a hard time. Seeing like Hyatt with and I'm just throwing a number out here and I'm being ridiculous, of course, but really have a hard time seeing Hyatt with 12 touchdown receptions this year, 10, 9. There's so much, what I mean? The there's only one ball. So, but let's see, the Giants receiver room is deep, but the ceiling feels a little limited, at least compared to the other teams. Now I'm going to go over the list. Can't argue with the list. Isaiah Hodgins came on strong at the end of last season. But he only played toward the end of last season. He didn't play in every game. He said he earned a 74.5 receiving grade from week 13 on. Very impressive. They also have Darius Slayton, Paris Campbell, Wandale Robinson, Sterling Shepard, Jalin Hyatt, Daniel Bellinger, but, tight end. So, and then, of course, in the article, they got DeAndre Hopkins lingers out on the free agent market, but his price tag is too rich for the Giants, so it's likely they're done adding. I think so. I really, really think so. But, if we go here, obviously, right, they got the Bengals at number 1. Hard to argue with the Bengals, right? What? Yeah. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Tyler Boyd. Right? I said we're going to go over 11. Well, we're going to go over the top 12, but 11 of the top 12 all got one thing in common. As we read the teams off, let's see if we can figure out what 11 of the top 12 teams all have in common. The next one, Philadelphia Eagles. Can't argue with there. A.J. Brown and DeVonta Smith. Super, just spectacular, right? Fantastic. Dynamic duo. Unbelievable. 2 fantastic receivers. Absolutely. Miami Dolphins. Waddle and Hill. Right? Tyreek, my God. The guy's like a rocket. He's like a rocket ship. How fast he is to have those 2 guys out there running around. Then you got the 49ers. Now, they also talk about in here, they talk about the skill man, too. But, Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk. Right? And you got obviously McCaffrey out of the backfield, but he's not a wide receiver. But between McCaffrey and the skittle man, Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, they got Very, very good. Then, of course, you got, and they just, the Seattle Seahawks, and they just added Njigba, right? Like Metcalf and Lockett and Njigba. Holy cow. Thankfully, this year we're going to have them in New York or New Jersey, in our case, and not out in the land of the 12th man. So that's going to help it. Great wide receiver group. Then you got the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, ABCD, Lamb, Cooks, and Gallup. I mean, but ABCD, man, what a talent. What a special talent that guy is. That was a very good pick by them. Minnesota Vikings. I mean, my goodness, Justin Jefferson. I mean, we did a good job shutting them down. Got to give us credit from there. But, it's, and then they get Jordan Addison. Right? So, but I mean, you got Justin Jefferson. I mean, phew. Then this is the redheaded stepchild of the top 12, the Las Vegas Raiders. They got Devontae Adams. Obviously some other guys in there too. But Hunter Renfrow. They still got some. Obviously, but I mean Devontae Adams. But the Buffalo Bills, number 9. I mean with Stephon Diggs. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They got Evans and Godwin. Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, it's they. Obviously with Kadarius Toney if he can stay healthy. Sky Moore. I mean they got Marquez Valdez-Scantling. I mean they got some very very good, but also it's putting Travis Kelce in there. It's the theory of relativity once again. Relativity. Once again, Patrick Mahomes makes them better. Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce makes the wide receiver group better. Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce makes the wide receivers better. They got a great offensive line, makes the wide receiver. But regardless of that, I mean, they're very, very, very talented. And then the 12th team is the Los Angeles Chargers. So 11 of those 12 teams, what do they all have in common? All made the playoffs. So somehow the Giants at number 25 made the playoffs. So, I mean, we're like 25. We're like way down there. But I mean, as I said, all you got is the evidence at hand, right? I mean, we got some nice guys, right? But I mean, you got, Isaiah Hodgins. He played in 8 games for the Giants. He had 33 catches. So basically, if you just double that, say he played in 16 games, he only started in 5. But if he played in 8, he had 33 catches. So just double that, saying 16 games, he would have had 66 catches. Is that a dog? Is that a number? Nope. I mean, he doesn't drop passes or anything like that. Very, very good, receiver. I really think the Giants got themselves a nice diamond in the rough. But then you got Darius Slayton. I mean, the most receptions he's ever had was what? 50 for 751 yards. Now, when he catches balls, they're deep. That's good. But is he a dog? Is he a number 1? Nope. Paris Campbell. It's only his 5th season. He's still young. I mean, his last year was his best year. He caught 63 balls for 623 yards, 10 yards of reception. Is he a dog? Is he a number 1? Nope. And last year was the first year he stayed healthy. Now, what was it? Okay, so he played in more games last year than the first 3 years combined. First 3 years combined, he played in 15 games. Last year, he played in 17. So he's got to stay healthy. Got to stay healthy. So, but once again, good receiver, fast, speedy. Can he catch a bunch of passes? Yeah. He had 63 catches last year on a team that was rather weak. Pretty impressive. But is he a dog? Nope. Sterling Shepard. He's a walking man. He's a walking injury waiting to happen. You know he's probably going to get injured. You just don't know how, when, what game it'll be, but you probably know he's probably going to get injured. Now, the most catches he ever had in a season was at 66. Yeah, he had 66 2 times. Okay. Is he a dog? Nope, absolutely not. Is he a nice, fine wide receiver? Is he a nice security blanket for Daniel Jones? Oh, yeah, absolutely. Are they thinking alike? Absolutely. Oh, yeah. And then you got Wan'Dale Robinson. He had, 9 or 10 catches against the Lions, had a really good game, and then he got hurt. And then, of course, he got hurt after his first reception of the last year. Caught one pass for 5 yards against the Titans, hurt his knee, missed a bunch of time. So last year, in 6 games, he caught 23 balls. Is he a dog? Nope. I say Colin Johnson. Coming back off the injury, 6'6", this, that, and the other thing. But in his 2 seasons, one with the Giants, of course, he missed all last year, but in 2020, 2021, he has a combined total of 29 receptions. Is that a dog? Nope. I mean, can he be, 6'6" and all that? Yeah. But I mean, all we have is the evidence at hand. And the evidence at hand, he's played in 26 games, and he has 29 catches. 1 catch a game. Then you got Jamison Crowder. Right? I mean, he's had the most out of anybody. Right? He had 78 receptions. What was it? 2019 with the Jets. But he'll be 30. It's probably not a long-term solution for the Giants. They're just trying to bring in, some veteran. Somebody could just maybe help out. And, if he winds up making, the final 53 and all, will he do good? Oh, yeah, certainly, absolutely. I think he'll find a little niche, but I mean, he's probably not going to catch much more than 40 passes, 40, 50 passes. I mean, that's not, once again, not a dog. We got Bryce Ford Wheaton, if something happens and he really does well and all, can he be, a nice little threat? Sure. But, he's not going to be on a starting roster this year. Then you got Jaylen. Right. As I said, once again, do I want him to catch 20 touchdown passes? Oh, yeah. You know it, brother. You know it. Absolutely. Do I know I'm the average 20 yards of reception? Sure. But I mean, is it going to happen? I kind of doubt it. Right? He hasn't played 1 snap in the NFL yet. So you can't really say. So, I mean, all we have is the evidence at hand. And the evidence at hand, as far as with the Giants, it just, look at their receivers. It's just, solid, deep at 2s and 3s. But we got to get that number one. Got to get that number one guy without question. What do we got today? Giants, Dodgers all weekend. Just saying. Are they playing each other? Baseball. Anybody can play slot wide receiver, downgrade T. Higgins to a role. Anybody can do. Debo does not practice. New 49ers kicker, bad draft pick. Every drive inside 40 was 3 San Francisco points guaranteed. That era is over. 49ers punter. Breakout season. Wish No Sky is a San Francisco punt. Mitch Wishnowski, 31-year-old breakout season punter. Ooh. Get 10,000 yards punted. Average 45 yards. Ooh, that is good. Punt yards. And then we got 236 punts, just 10,000 yards. You got your stats down pretty good. Now where did I got 312,000 tabs over here? Okay, then we got Darren Waller. Why he wears number 12? Now it's just some symbolic here. Says the Giants made several. Obviously, Waller changed his number when he was with the Raiders. He wasn't wearing number 12 there. Yes, many in the media have praised the Giants for the trade, which landed Daniel Jones with the 6'6" explosive playmaker. The 30-year-old put together back-to-back seasons with over 1,100 yards from 2019 to 2020, totaling almost 197 receptions, 2,341 yards, and 12 touchdowns in 2 seasons. Wow. This led to him being named to the Pro Bowl in 2020. Waller recently joined NFL Network's Mike Garafolo to discussing numerous topics on why he chose number 12. He said 12 is a number that has a lot of meaning to him. And I've been around some people who have been through, programs, recovery programs, shall we say. Certain numbers do mean certain things like that and all and everything. So for him to change the number, I'm glad number 12 was available for him. So he said, number 12 is a number that has a lot of meaning to me. As somebody that's in recovery, there are certain programs that people like me are a part of, and 12 is a very symbolic number. So it's just representing people that are in sobriety. So that's good for him. That's really, really good. And it's just not even so much good for the Giants it's just straight up, period, without question, good for him. Because, I've known people that have been, on either alcohol or drugs, and needing help and all that and everything, just to be able to get your life straight, and hopefully over the problems he had and everything like that. It's just absolutely fantastic. It's just for a human being aspect of it, just absolutely fantastic for him. Very, very happy for him, because there's a lot of people out there that struggle, and some people get help and some people don't. And if you don't get help, it's only going to make it worse. So I'm really, really happy for him. It's good. I'm really glad that number 12 was available for him. But so that's good. That's really, really good. And as I said, not just for him, just, period. Just, happy he's, and he seems like, obviously from everything, that you hear about him, he really seems like he has his head on, good, has good heart, good head and all that and everything. So that's really, really good. Buffalo had no punter last year. Well, they're gonna. Well, I don't think they needed a punter when the way Josh Allen was turning the ball. It's gonna be interesting to see if Josh Allen, because once Dayball left, right? It's interesting to see if Josh Allen continues to keep turning the ball over as much as he's doing. I mean, because Dayball left, Josh Allen's turnovers went up. Dayball came to New York. Daniel Jones's turnovers went down. So we'll have to wait and see now, because if Daniel Jones's interceptions go up a little bit, it may not be such a bad idea, because if we're hopefully launching them deep, right? You start launching some more passes deep, you're going to get some interceptions from time to time. It's just the nature of the beast. I mean, you're kind of hoping. I remember Howard Cross was talking about on Big Blue Kickoff Live. He was kind of saying, like, if you're the wide receiver, I guess you're running out by the numbers. You don't want to be too close to unless you're just throwing the ball down the middle. But if you're throwing it deep to the wide receiver, you don't want to be a yard from the boundaries, because then the quarterback has nowhere to drop the ball in at. But if you can get out to by the numbers, and you keep, if you can keep the cornerback, safety, whatever, to the inside, and you're on the numbers, well, then Daniel Jones is dropping the ball between the numbers and the sideline. So according to Howard Cross, what he was saying makes a lot of sense. He said the quarterback should be able to drop the ball there, and hopefully you catch it or nobody catches it, because if you're keeping yourself, the wide receiver, between the ball and the defensive back, it shouldn't be that many added interceptions, shall we say. But I mean, things like that happen. If you start throwing the ball deep, it might be an extra interception or two this year because of that. But I mean, if he goes from, say, 5, even if he goes up to 10, okay, would that be fantastic and be double the interceptions? Well, of course not really. But if we get like another 15 or 20 long pass plays, like maybe if we can hit one extra pass play a game, add like an extra 17 long pass plays, 25 yards, one more per game, and you add 5 interceptions in there. But also another thing too is that if you're throwing the ball deep, and the defensive back, if you're throwing the ball 40, 50 yards downfield, the defensive back jumps up and pulls it. I mean, if the wide receiver can tackle him, that's almost like a punt. If you're throwing it 50 yards downfield and they come up with the ball, I mean, of course, if the defensive back comes down with the ball, our wide receiver can't make the tackle, and the defensive back wants the ball back 30, 40 yards or so, well, that's a little different. But I mean, sometimes, if it's thrown down deep and you tackle them down there, that's just like a punt. But I mean, so you might have to have the give and take a little bit. You might have to add maybe a couple interceptions to Daniel Jones's total if we're launching them deep. But man, if we get an extra like 15 long pass plays or so in the season, that might be fantastic. What's up, Terrence? Respect to Waller. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's not it. Perhaps I know quite a few people that struggling with that stuff, and it's not easy. It's not easy at all. I mean, especially like with him. I mean, because he's got what he's got. I mean, the talent, the size, and all of that. I mean, if you let whatever his demons are, whatever it's alcohol, drugs, whatever it is, if you let that get the best of you, I mean, you've just, because you can only be a ball player for so long. So, I mean, it's just really good, really good. He's got his head on straight. That's fantastic. I mean, just because that's good for the Giants, because that will score some touchdowns and win some football games. I mean, just good for him as a human being. That's really good. Don't give easy punts when the sun's up. Steelers will fumble to punt when it gets darker. Punt when they can't see only. I like that. You should call Dable up and tell him that. Play the sky. Teddy, you got a great way of looking at stuff. You got a great way of looking at it. Now, what the heck we got here? The CBS here. Now they got the Giants. They got 3 players in the top 100. Now, I mean, this is not particularly, fantastic. It's not horrible, because if you look at it being 32 teams, if each team has 3 players, that's 96 players right there. So the Giants don't have any, the Giants don't have, the Giants had 5 or 6. But, I mean, what they did point out, too, was there was a couple guys that just missed. Of course, we got Saquon, Sexy Dexy, and Andrew Thomas. But they said guys who just missed out. Where was Kayvon here? Did I have it? I know I got it here somewhere. Kayvon. Nope. There we go. All right. Kayvon and Leonard Williams were the 2 Giants who just missed out. Now, the thing is now with Leonard Williams is that if per se, because he's, now let's think about this with Leonard. Because the last time he had that, 11.5 sacks. I think he was possibly up for some type of a contract, I think it was, or a contract extension or somewhere around there. And all of a sudden, with the contract looming, he puts up 11.5 sacks. Mighty interesting. So what's going on here? So the Giants have not given him an extension or anything like that. They want to see how he plays out. And, maybe at the end of the season, they'll give him a contract. So he has no contract after this. So, what would be in his best interest? Well, to play pretty good. He plays pretty good. The Giants might want him back. We keep maybe the Sexy and Leonard Williams together. Of course, Leonard Williams not going to get $30 million a year. He's probably going to, if maybe get half of that, maybe. I'm just throwing a number out there, but he ain't getting no $30 million a year. That's for sure. But he's going to want to play good this year, because he's going to want to get paid. If he has any inklings of wanting to play for for another couple of years. He also mentioned too he's not one. He doesn't want to play for like 13 different teams. He's been in New York his whole time. He's been either with the Jets or he's with the Giants. So he's been in that same stadium ever since. He said he doesn't want to get up and then have to go play for Carolina for a year, and then go play for Minnesota for a year, and then go play for the Rams for a year, and finally maybe finish off with the Saints his last season. He doesn't want to do that. He said he's kind of hoping. Also, I mean, not only continue playing with the Giants, but we're building something. The Sexy one is they're like brothers. So they're kind of like he wants to kind of finish maybe what they started here. We're heading in the right direction. We went to the second round of the playoffs last year. We had a winning record. We won a playoff game. And he wants to continue to build what we have here. So it would really, really help, if he had a really, really good season this year. But you can also see, I said, with Kayvon, if Kayvon has a real good season, I mean, if Azeez can stay healthy, I mean, he was well into the on pace for double digits in sacks. If he stayed healthy, if he played the whole season, he was like, I think 14 sacks he was on pace for. So if he can stay healthy and he gets double digits in sacks, he could possibly reach the top 100 here. Kayvon has another good year. And if they actually start holding penalties every time that the tackle comes around and rings Kayvon's neck, and they start holding penalties on that, which they should, but I mean, Kayvon gets a little bit better this year, Kayvon will be in the top 100. So, I mean, there's a good chance the Giants next year could have maybe 5 guys in the top 100 next year. But as I said, you think about it. I said, if every team, 32 teams, if each one has 3 players on there, they don't, but I'm just saying, that would be 96 players. So, I mean, the Giants having 3 players on there is nothing super spectacular. What do we got here? Of course, let's see. I forgot who they had. Who they had number 1. Oh, duh. Okay, Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. But then they got Joe Burrows, Nick Bosa, Myles Garrett, Travis Kelce, Justin Jefferson, Micah Parsons, Aaron Donald, Trent Williams. Then I'll just go read up T.J. Watt, Tyreek Hill, Chris Jones, Jalen Ramsey, Sauce Gardner. He's number 15 after 1 season. Wow. Jamar Chase, Devontae Adams, Lane Johnson. Yep. He's a beast. Patrick Surtain II. Wow. And Stephon Diggs. So Andrew Thomas is number 24. He's the highest rated Giant. But so, I mean, it's having 3 guys on there is nothing super duper spectacular. But I mean, hopefully maybe after this season's over with, maybe they might have some more guys. Let's see. I'll join more 98-90 after Falcons enter the league. Well, all right. Well, that's 1966. Falcons' first victory ever was over the Giants in Yankee Stadium. So 96. So actually, right now, we're 1957 tonight. Giants didn't make the playoffs, didn't make to the championship game. The Browns did. The Giants got a little bit of an off season. They still had a winning record, but that a little bit of an off season. So, but the Giants are 1958, 59, 61, 62, 63 went to the championship game. So the Giants had a bunch of good years coming up. But the 1966, that's when the Falcons joined the league. 1966. So, and that's the Trivial Pursuit question. What was the first team the Falcons ever beat in the NFL? The New York Giants in 1966. 27-16 at Yankee Stadium. I think it was like November 10th or 20th or something like that. The Giants were just unbelievably pathetic. Unbelievably pathetic. So now I want to keep my continuing series going here. What I got is I got the Giants guards versus the rest of the NFC East guards. So I want to now the one thing here, all right. Well, see, the Eagles, they lost Isaac Seumalo. They got Landon Dickerson and quite possibly Cam Jurgens as their 2 guards. Now, 2 very, very good guards there indeed. Dallas, they lost Connor McGovern, who was very good. Now, of course, they got Zach Martin, who's quite possibly a Hall of Famer, but he's 33. But I think he might be the best guard in this whole group here. Then possibly Tyler Smith might be taking Connor McGovern's spot. I was looking at some of the depth, like what was it? ESPN. They had I was looking at the depth chart of the certain teams and all, and the Dallas Cowboys. It looks like they might have. I said right guard. They might have Zach Martin, but they said maybe Tyler Smith might be their left guard. Say because they lost Connor McGovern. Now, I said between Zach Martin being probably the best, and quite possibly a Hall of Famer, and I said if Tyler Smith is the guard for the Cowboys, I mean he's young and he graded out a 73.3 by Pro Football Focus last year. So I got the Cowboys at number 1 between Zach Martin and possibly Tyler Smith as their other guard. As I said, Zach Martin, I mean, he's going to be 33, so he doesn't have many more years left in him. And actually last year was like one of his worst years. Might have been his worst year ever. Was his worst year ever? According to Pro Football Focus. 72. Oh yeah. He was 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah. I mean, that was his worst year ever. I mean, in 2021, he graded out a 93. 2020, graded out a 91.3. So, I mean, his run blocking is just absolutely phenomenal. Last year, he took a little bit of a dip down. So his dominance might start coming to an end. But right now, I mean, I still have him as the best guard in the NFC East. And I said that in Tyler Smith, if Tyler Smith is their other guard, he did pretty good last year as well, too. So I got the Cowboys at number 1. I got the Eagles who lost Seumalo, but they still got Landon Dickerson, and they might possibly, and once again, I'm looking at possibly they might have Cam Jurgens as their other. Now they got. I mean, last year he played guard, he played tackle, he played center. I mean, he played center, but he played center for a couple of snaps. But it was probably like maybe like special team snaps or something like that. I mean, they got Jason Kelce, who I believe is returning, so they're not going to need him at center. So I mean, if anything, Cam Jurgens might wind up being their guard. But, I mean, between Landon Dickerson and Cam Jurgens, that's a good, solid couple right there. So I got the Eagles. It's the second-ranked guards in the NFC East. I got the Giants at number 4 only because of what Joshua Ezeudu did last. I mean, he graded out at a 46 last year, Pro Football Focus. And we have Ben Bredeson who graded out a 57.5. Shane Lemieux, I mean, if he makes it, if he winds up being a starter, which I highly doubt, I mean, he hasn't graded out very well at all. And Marcus McKeithen, he was injured, so we don't even know what he can do. Now, the thing is, we got Glowinski, who last year, according to Pro Football Focus, graded out a 65.6, which wasn't bad. His run blocking was decent. His pass blocking, not so much. But this might be the last year we have Glowinski as well, too. But I'm booking this on, what we have this year. All right, I said Ezeudu got injured. Hopefully he comes back, and hopefully he's healthy and he can perform well. But he didn't grade out very well. Ben Bredeson didn't do too bad last year, but nothing super spectacular. I got the Washington Commanders. They got Andrew Norwell, possibly Trey Turner. I mean, I think he was a free agent. I looked on Pro Football Focus. Apparently, they seem to think that Trey Turner is still with Washington. They think maybe Andrew Wiley might wind up being a guard for Washington as well. He graded out decently. And then they also have Sam Cosmi, who might wind up being a guard for them as well. He graded out very well last year at a 71.6. So I got the Washington Commanders at 3rd and the Giants in the NFC East, our guards, 4th. So I got the Cowboys at number 1, especially because of Zach Martin. Then I said the Eagles got especially Landon Dickerson. He's very, very good. Even though the Eagles did come down a little bit because they lost Samolo, right? Who's a very, very good guard. So I got the Cowboys at number 1, Eagles at number 2, and I got Washington because I said between Norwell and possibly Trey Turner, Andrew Wiley, and Sam Cosmi, possibly those guys, very, very good. The Giants don't have a lot of depth at guard, and even the guys we do have starting are not phenomenal guys at guard. I mean, I hope Ezeudu takes a huge step forward this year. Maybe Bredeson, if he winds up playing, hopefully he can do good and stay healthy. I mean, I'm not wishing nothing. I don't think much is going to come from Shane Lemieux. And we don't know about what we got with McKeithen either because he was injured. So I think the Giants might have some work to do, maybe, possibly with the guards. We'll have to wait and see, especially if they let Glowinski go. But so I got the guards in the NFC East. Cowboys number 1, Eagles number 2, Commanders number 3, and the Giants are number 4. So tomorrow or the next time I do a video, I'm not sure if I'll be going live tomorrow or not. But the next video I do, I'm going to finish up the offense by going over the centers. So I did the quarterbacks and running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, tackles, and guards so far. The last offensive position I have to do is the center. So with all of those, the 6 positions I did go over. I got the Eagles in first place with 21 points. You get 4 points for first, 3 points for second, 2 points for third, 1 point for fourth. Got the Giants and Cowboys are both tied at 15, so the Eagles like way in front. And then the Commanders only have 9 points. They're like way in the back there. So I'll do so next video I do, I'm going to finish up the offense by doing the centers. But let's see what we got here. What's up today? I made a kid in Pittsburgh who met the commissioner at the draft, front row seats. Nice. Front row seats. Very lucky. Very, very good. Gotta love it, huh? Before we met, I've been a Bengal fan on YouTube. Bengals, yeah. Well, I mean, they got, they got some young studs, and you got Burrow and Chase. I mean, I'm sure they're going to be probably pretty good for quite some time. So, if you're going to be a Bengal fan, now's the time. That's for sure. You got a couple of young studs there. So as long as they can stay healthy. Because remember, Burrow got injured a couple of years ago and their season was going, right? But I mean, as long as Burrow can stay healthy, as long as they got blocked for him, stay healthy. I mean, the Bengals will be an exciting team to go for a long, long time. Well, guys, it's been 45 minutes. Teddy, thank you. Terrence, as always, thank you. Good talking to you guys. So whoever spent any time at all watching me, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. If anybody spent any time at all watching the replay this, once again, I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. As always, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo! Oh, yeah.